Hello everybody, it's Justin, your favorite colored man. Gosh, I love that term. It's ridiculous. Colored with a U. Anyway, again playing Final Fantasy 12, and I'm hoping that this is not old footage that I'm recording over, because I can't tell right now because I've been doing the same repetitive tasks over and over again. I'm kind of like, did I record this and post it up there? So I apologize if that's the case. I really do. But anyway, I love this game anyway, so I'll probably be posting some No Man's Sky and some Sonic Mania footage not too long from now, and that'll be fun. I went ahead and invested back into No Man's Sky. I shouldn't have gotten rid of it in the first place, but you know, I was convinced that they weren't going to be able to fix it because of I was believing all the hype about the negative press rather than, you know, kind of looking at the situation saying that, I don't know, that guy seems like a guy that if he does something stupid, you know, he'll try to correct it. And that's a good thing. Shout out to Sean Murray. Anyway, so what the Lord is saying this time around is, and I love doing these shows too because it gets me to think alongside with what God's saying. So it's very therapeutic and cathartic for me in a lot of ways in terms of I may be saying something, but you know, I might also be learning something at the same time too. So, but what he said this time around was that the Lord's saying that he's with you. He's with you, he's with us. And really grasping what that means. So this is something that I have been struggling with as of late, has been anxiety. And even like the other day, there is this moment where I think I have to do something and I had to do it alone, I had to figure this out, I had to figure that out. And if you notice what happens in your head, you begin to start realizing there's a lot of I's. Not a lot of we's, a lot of I's. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I've been saying this for a while now. Any system that gets overwhelmed will shut down. Any system that gets overwhelmed will shut down. Will happen. So then, what does that mean in terms of what we're talking about today? That if I were to look at the situation as it just being me, I do get overwhelmed because there's a lot of things that I do. Like I do this show every day. And I'm going to be starting an animated show, and I'm going to air that on Fridays more than likely. And I'm also doing game development and doing ministry on top of that, and doing some tier marketing stuff on top of that too. So like, I'm doing a lot of things. And sometimes all the things that I gotta do in a day come at me all at once, and it freaks me out. It's painful almost. And when I began to just realize that, you know what, who's with me? God's with me. Like, we take that for granted, right? We don't think that makes a difference, and it does make a difference. It makes a difference in terms of your entire day, your outlook, everything. Because it's just not, it's kind of like not going to a movie alone, you know? It's like, it's just a difference when someone's there. And I think that when we look at it from that perspective of, hey, I don't have to be freaking out because I'm with somebody. If something happens, I'm with somebody. And who better than God himself? Who better than the one whose word goes out and does not come back void? Who's better than the one who has overcome the world? Who better than him? Like, who better? It's amazing. It's more than amazing, extraordinary that we're on his team. You know? I was about to say that he's on our team, but no, we're on his team. We're on his team. And doing those things and following those plans and things like that, it's not so bad after that. I had to, like the other day I was telling myself that, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I started getting very, very anxious, and then I was like, you know what, I'm not alone. I had to repeat that to myself several times in order for me to actually really get it. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm not alone. Yeah, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. Well, hot dog, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. And a peace began to come over me when I started saying that. And when I began to dwell on the fact on who's with me, whether it be mean that I'm with him, I mean, it just went away. It just went away. So he's with us. So no matter what the situation is, no matter what's going on, there's one who is with us, and there's a huge amount of security in that if we take the time to really meditate on just who is it that's with us. You know, basically I'd say this, that if your God is small in your mind, meaning that, well, I don't know if he can do this, I don't know if he can do that, I don't know if he can move, you know, like, then him being with us is not a consolation, or it doesn't console you. But if you understand and believe in what it is that he says about himself, even outside of what your personal experience has been, like, you know, so you may have never seen someone, for example, be raised from the dead. You may not have personally ever seen that. Not a common thing. At least here in the States, I don't know. But just because you've never seen that doesn't mean that he's not still doing that. You know? So, or it doesn't mean that he can or stop doing it or can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It just means that you haven't personally seen that yet. So once you kind of wrap your head around this idea of really understanding about his power and his promises and all those things, like, good grief, you're good. Like, you are good. You're good at that point in time. You really, really are. So I'm just saying that really get into the depths of who he says that he is. You know, who is he? When he says, I am with you, who is I am? I am with you. Like, God be with you, he says, I am. So that's what he declares himself to be. He's like, I am. Because there's nothing to compare him to, you know. So sometimes it's ideas of a more pantheistic idea of, you know, well, God's the tree, God's the this. It's like, no. This has a beginning. God does not have a beginning. There's nothing to compare him to. Everything we see around us has been created. We don't know what a non-created thing looks like. So to compare him to anything, and we don't know anything that doesn't have a beginning, it's in time. So we don't know what something that has not been created and what is outside of time looks like, which is why you can't compare him to anything. But when you begin to understand that I am with you, I mean, yeah, when you think of it that way, it makes a lot of sense why, you know, some three Hebrew kids can jump into a furnace, you know what I'm saying? Then, like, when you wrap your head around that, you get a little bit more courage, a little bit more bold in your steps. You get a little bit more like, I got this. Why? I am with you is what God says. Wow. And then walking in that and saying that, God, you said this. You said that if I enter this type of situation that you're going to do this. I believe you. So I'm going to literally walk out in faith, and I'm going to look at that word, and that's going to be that. And now, Lord, your word is always, your promises and your word is always going to be fulfilled, Lord. So what's up? You know, make sure you understand what God's saying in proper context, you know. So you don't want to just put yourself in danger unnecessarily. You want to put yourself in the situation that God wants you to, that God calls you into, you know. So it's not like, you know, you can go out there in the middle of the street and test God. No, it's not like that. But if he tells you to go somewhere, and it might be volatile, it might be dangerous, and you understand your authority, and you are trusting in the promises that he's given you, and you're understanding these things, then yeah, go ahead and go, despite what it looks like. Why? Because I am with you. There's been some incredible testimonies out there, because someone simply said yes and said that, no, God's with me. And he stood their ground and said that, okay, devil, you have no Nowhere further to go but here. That's it. That's all you're going to get. You know? And a lot of these are always going to be overseas. And I think it's kind of frustrating in some ways. I mean, I'm not hoping to be persecuted and beaten and things like that, you know? But there are insane things that God does. That are out there in terms of testimonies and everything. And it's just extraordinary stuff. But, you know, overseas, I think they understand more about spirituality than we do, because we try to say that, whereas that's a Western idea, you know, that everything can be explained through naturalism, and I'm kind of like, no, it really can't. It really can't. It can describe what it is, but it can't describe why it is. You know, ultimately, you go further back, it's not going to describe why it is, and I don't think that it's appropriate to say that most of the world is very, very spiritual. I'm not saying that it's Christian, I'm just saying it's spiritual. It understands that there are things that go beyond what nature can do or has done or whatever it is. And these aren't stupid, naive, and dumb people either. You know, simply because they're not Western. Oh, well, they're cavemen. Like, no. Some of them live off the land, and so they understand nature a lot better than some of us do here in the States. And they're like, well, that was not natural. That was super not natural. That was highly irregular. And I don't know what to do with that information. So, the understanding that I am with you, they get it overseas. A lot of times we don't understand it here in the States. Or in Western culture. You know. Because we're smarter than all that. Which is really insulting. But anyway, guys. Really get into I am with you. Understand that. I'm with you. Like, that just got your day 100% better right there. Got my day 100% better, at least. So, just thank God that He's with us. So, thank you, God, that you're with us. Thank you for that so much. Alright, guys, that's my time. And, again, you can support me through Patreon. There's a link in the description below. I challenge you to go ahead and subscribe, because there's going to be some words that God gives is going to challenge me and challenge the people around us, you know, and that's just going to be that. And thank you guys for tuning in as always. I'll be doing these every day at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. So the show will be here every single day, Eastern Standard Time. And Lord willing, I will be able to talk to you guys next time. Okay, loves and hugs, and He's with you. Chill. Calm down. Thank you once again to my Patreon supporters. It means so much to me. Just look at them. Just look at these people. Just look at it.